Hi, Gary here with my November blog. So I do apologise if you've been expecting one. I think it was September and October. Kind of slipped my mind a little bit. Anywho, lots of things to talk about. I have set a timer so I won't go on forever and a day. But yes, 2nd of October we held the World of Cherub Boudoir experience at Eden. It was myself, it was Mark and Chris. It was a joint effort that put together, I can think, a rather fabulous evening. We showed lots of original photography, there was lots of original music, and we showed for the first time a video for Here Comes the Rain, which Mark performed in front of, and there were versions of Erotica and Justify My Love to see on the great big screens, which was pretty damn fantastic, I can tell you. And yeah, I know we all do this when we review things, we spot the errors, but big picture, I was very happy, and there was a very, very appreciative audience, which was so fabulous. I had quite low expectations, but I think there was probably about 90 to 100 people there, and in the first 10 minutes I was having a look, sort of watch, and everything was really quiet, and then Mark walked past me and just said, no one's on the phones. So everybody was really paying attention to what we'd got to show, which was, so that was just so nice. Yeah, really enjoyed the whole process, right from 3 years ago, meeting Mark and learning that there was just a bigger human being behind what you initially see. There's somebody with an enormous amount of talent, an enormous amount of resilience, timekeeping, absolutely spot on, reliability, 1000% if you want to use that kind of thing. But yeah, never let me down, and really brought himself to the whole project. And him a year on mentioning that he knew a very, very talented musician, and I got to know Chris, and Chris has been absolutely brilliant. Really enhanced the images that I had to show. So yes, it was just a whole learning curve for me. The things that have evolved from that, which is I'm not going to ever profess that I'm a super skilled video editor, but I have edited videos which 3 years ago I wasn't doing. I've had a lot of fun and a lot of satisfaction, also a lot of frustration at times, because it is quite challenging. Yeah, producing music videos, really enjoyed that, and I've enjoyed doing the documentary style and editing that. Maybe that needs a little bit of improvement, but yeah, it's practice, and yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. So yeah, Mark, really say the whole project wouldn't be as interesting as it is without his input. And there was one of the things that I absolutely loved, that he was fearless, and I mean fearless at times, and was unafraid to suggest ideas and I think some people maybe suggested things to photographers in the past and had their ideas dismissed. That is not something I'm ever going to do, because some of the pictures that come from the spontaneity are certainly some of my absolute favourites, and say risk taking, we did a degree of that as well. So the intention is that it will be shown again. I'm in discussion with another venue, still in Birmingham. I want to keep it in Birmingham at the moment, and I've been looking at maybe going a little bit further afield, because it's a subject that is not Birmingham City centric. It's something that is on the increase amongst a lot of men of this generation, and certainly some of older people, older men have certainly felt similar to the way I felt in the past, losing your identity a little bit and maybe wanting to reinvigorate yourself. So it's a thing that it's a thing, whether you think it's important or not. I think body positivity is. So yeah, the intention is next year, early part of next year, to show it again, and there will be additions to it as Mark and I are continuing our creative journey, with Mark appearing to want to show some of his older compositions with Chris to a public, which I'm going to say I think it's absolutely brilliant. And there's things that I've been working on which that will feature in some way or another. So keep an eye out for that. And as always, support for these events is greatly received. So I'd be really, really appreciative if you see the event, even if it's not something that you want to see. Maybe if you just gave it a bit of a share, and it might just hit somebody that just thinks, that might be an interesting thing for me. So that, because it was very disappointing that all the organisations that I approached to even just get a mention decided to ignore me. So it's down to you public. So the people that came along, and some of the reviews that were put onto my Google page were extremely extremely flattering, and it was like my message is getting over to the people that are important, which is you guys. So yeah, any support like that would be absolutely fabulous. So, which brings me on to something next. Behind me I have two examples of my current digital artwork, which I'm going to say has been a direct result of collaborating with Mark. It's one of the directions for me that it's all interwoven with work that I've done in the past and things that I've learned as I've gone along editing, and it's a small part of a program that I use that I think I certainly did not know it existed until a couple of years ago, and I was using it just for very, very basic things, and then realising there was actually these functions that it did, and if you combine this with that and that from over there and this from under there and different images, I've created this montage artwork, which there's some that are to use a kind of a very old-fashioned term, a magic eye, where you look at the image and you see there's one that is being featured in an exhibition in Vegas. Hopefully December time. I thought it was going to be November, but the catalogue is being finished or something like that. But yes, it's like this magic eye picture that you see the initial repeated design, and then when you look through in it, there's another image, and then when your eye works it out, there's other things that are hidden within the images. And being the willful little character that I am, I do love a little secret challenge. So in 2 images, and I'm not going to say which ones they are, there are instructions, and if you follow the instructions, there is something at the end. Not going to say it's a reward, not going to say it's a prize. Yeah, so have a look through, because there are things hidden in the pictures, and also actually I hid a couple of quite risque things in the World of Cherub video, which nobody spotted other than me, which was great. So yes, I am in the process of having some of the more three-dimensional images being framed, because I've been putting, I'm not sure what the right terminology should be, but there are inclusions that I've put onto the images, so it's an onclusion, is it, maybe? I don't know. Of things that are in resin, or three-dimensional items that have been glued, like I've got artificial insects on some, and then there's ones that I've got bits and pieces, say, set in resin plaques, and those obviously require more three-dimensional frames, which I can't do myself, or I'm not a terrific lover of framing prints, so I've farmed that bit out, but there's some that I'm doing, the less three-dimensional ones I can do myself. But yes, there's 5 at the framers as we speak. I'm hoping to receive them maybe next week, and then I've just realised that there's a few more that will need to be framed. So the intention is to build up a selection of these fetish style digital montage artworks to show in a solo exhibition next year. And I'm doing it all on my own, because the people that I've been contacting have been so lazy, they've not replied to me. So whether they've received my email and decided it's not for them, or they just can't be bothered, whatever, or I'm in the wrong direction to them, which is the one reply I've had. So I've decided that hold it myself. So I'm at the moment, I'm at the stage where I'm looking for a suitable venue. The work is quite edgy, so I'm not going to be able to go into your usual gallery. So that's something that I'm looking to find a place, get a date, and I will tell you about it when I have decided about it. So it's something that, yeah, I want to make a decision, hopefully know before this year is out, because here we are near the end of the year. Other things that are happening, there's something very, very exciting coming up related to a collaboration that has been going on in the underground for quite quite a little while. Yes, there's a collaboration that's been going on for a little while with a rather cool designer. I've had some fantastic phone calls with him about his plans, and I think the best thing for me to say is it all sounds really amazing and incredibly exciting, and it does sound like a lot of work for him. So when I know more and what capacity that I'm collaborating, I will tell you. But there's things that I've actually been it's been requested for me not to say anything. So yeah, bit of a tease there. So yeah, that's something next year, and if it goes ahead, it's going to be quite spectacular in my mind. So anywho, right, my coffee's probably gone cold now. So, quick sip. Oh man, that's really great. And I'm going to have a mince pie. So, catch you folks later. In my excitement to get to my coffee and mince pie, I completely forgot to mention my extremely limited edition Fetish Digital Artwork 2026 calendar. There are only 9 of these available, so they're highly limited. These images are unlikely to be repeated again. There's some of these images I've been creating in the last few months with an intention for them to be printed on some fabric and then go on to some garments. So part of this has been the experimental journey of them, but I felt they probably wouldn't have translated onto fabric, but I really did like them, so I wanted somewhere for these to go. So I've created a calendar, and the calendar is called Resist Indifference. So here is one of my montage. That's the cover, which I can safely show. And here's, I'm going to say, one of my absolute stars. So the content I perceive to be quite edgy, but I love them. So yes, this calendar there are only 9 available. They are £20 plus postage each. If you're interested, please do contact me via my email, or you can go through my website, which is www.GaryLindsay-Moore-Photography. Alternatively, email me directly on info@GaryLindsayMorePhotography.com, or message me on social media. I'm quite happy to receive a message either way. Okay. Anywho, one last little saucy peek. This one's going to have to be a bit of a flash. Laters.